Hello and welcome to another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, I have another furry visual novel. This one, what's it called? A Masquerade in the Woods? Let me just verify that. So I mean it's down there, but I just want to verify it. Yeah, A Masquerade in the Woods. I kind of got threw off because the acronym is AMW. I didn't actually read the synopsis, so I guess we could do it right now, because I am terrible at doing these things sometimes, especially when I'm on vacation. Though I did look at that Patreon at once, where it's, there doesn't seem to be a level where you can pay the money to get it quicker, but it's free on itch.io, and it is 0.8, or maybe that's 8, which means it's mostly done, I guess. So anyways, enough of this goofing around, let's read what it's about. He just wants to go home. He wants to see his brother again. He just wants to know how he ended up in the dark, ash-covered forest. But when Cody finds himself involved in a Modo investigation with his actions and the center, a group of vigilantes rope him into a disturbing puzzle, like one of those, trap rooms. What are they called? Escape rooms. I want to go to a trap room. Anyways, puzzle of what is really going on. And along the way, discover that crime fighting isn't as easy as the comic books portray it. Or I guess that one visual novel. What is it? Glory Hounds? That one looked good. But anyways, enough about them. Let's reset my face. And start. As the audio. It looks alright. Is there, oh yeah, if you want me to play this game, tell me. And I'll put it up higher on the list. And if you have any other games you want me to do, then tell me. Anyways, his name's Ewick. Short guy with a lion tattoo. He's as tall as I am. Also, sorry to digress, that is kind of weird in the furry world. Like, lion tattoo in the human world? Okay, but, I don't know. To me, it would be like somebody having a tattoo of an Asian guy on them, or some white dude, you know? Anyways, yeah, that's what I said. Short. Oh, come on, I'm at least average. Might turn it down just a tad bit more. So I can actually hear myself a bit better, whoa. How'd you guys meet anyway? We share English literary analysis. What the hell is that? Well, shit. I'll be damned. I also do it too. What? My little Tinny is finally growing up. Tinny? I was already grown up, and I told you not to call me that. Even if he grows up to be a faggot. Hey, that was their word. I mean, it is my word too, but still. Oh, come on, you said... I'm kidding, idiot. I don't give a fuck who you stick your dick in, or who sticks their dick in you, as long as you're getting some. It do be like that sometimes? Thanks, Miles. You've got such a way with words. I'm the goddamn Shakespeare of her time, Tinny. Oh, Tiny. I can read English. Just don't tell Mom, okay? Mine or yours? Mine. You know she's gonna find out eventually, right? I know. I just want to enjoy what I have a little longer. Better prepare yourself for the shit show that Fallout's gonna be. Yeah. Want the rest of my milkshake? Oh, hell yeah, free milkshake. Isn't it technically already mine if I paid for it? Just shut up and be grateful, faggot. You're saying that very in dick-sucking distance, man. I'm proud of you, bro. Is this NSFW? Yes. Or at least 18 or older. It hurts. God, it hurts. Everything is silent, and calm, and cold. Peaceful. I think I need to put my mic a bit closer because I don't feel like I'm getting too much of it. This must be what death feels like. Then, in an instant, fire. A burning sensation that crawls across my body like a firestorm. A pulsating ache moves like a shockwave from the center of my chest through every nerve in my body, as if punched by 1,000 needles at once. I scream. I scream until my lungs are empty. The air is thick, and breathing feels like inhaling water. And then I'm falling. I must have lost consciousness before I hit the ground, because when I wake up, all I feel is the gentle touch of cold water bombarding my body. Why is it raining in my room? I try shifting on the mattress in an attempt to avoid the leak that must have sprung in my ceiling. My mattress isn't usually this rough, is it? It only takes me a moment to realize I'm no longer in my room. I'm outside. Well, I must get drunk again. I open my eyes, and I'm greeted by darkness. If I'm outside, I can't see any stars. I can feel the rain, though, the small droplets hammering down my skin, feeling oddly soothing to my aching limbs. Perhaps I'll lay here for a bit. Eyes drift shut again. This feels sort of pleasant. But a thought in the back of my mind refuses to rest. No matter how nice and cool the rain feels on my skin, I can't stay here. Where am I? My body feels heavy, heavier than usual. Reluctantly, I muster the strength to sit up, bringing my hand up to my pounding forehead. The pain is so severe that my vision blurs, and I suck in the air through my gritted teeth. I close my eyes and breathe in deep through my nose to combat the dizziness. Miles always said steady breathing is the key to beating it. Something about not enough oxygen to the brain. Not sure if I could trust his medical advice, though. Especially after that time he poured salt on a cut I'd gotten. Shit hurt more than the actual cut. Yeah, I've had that happen. I'm pulled from my reminiscing as the smell of wet wood and mud floods my nose. I'm in the forest. Once my eyes adjust to the darkness around me, I'm able to make out the outlines of the trees. In the dark, the leafless branches almost resemble hands reaching towards me. Sorry, it's late at night. And reading always makes me yawn. I don't know why, or usually does. But there's another scent mixed in with the smell of wood, and it takes me a moment to place it. Is that ash? My train of thought is suddenly interrupted by my surroundings lighting up in a bright flash, followed by the thunderous cracking of lightning just a moment later. The light gives me a better look at my surroundings and my naked body. Must have been a hell of a good night. Except it's not my body. I let my hand fall from my forehead and instead hold it up to the front of my face, forcing my eyes to focus on it. Another flash crackles across the gloomy sky, and my stomach drops. This is not my hand. Wait, this is not my hand. It's not even a hand. It is a hand. Unless I'm not supposed to be furry? The light fades as quickly as it appeared, and I'm left staring at the outline of my limb in the darkness. What is this? What's happening? I try to stand up, but my legs give out almost immediately. A shockwave of pain shoots through my knees as they hit the ground. A yelp escapes my throat. I just want to go home. If I focus hard enough, I can almost feel the cheap mattress against my back. The blanket, it's always too small for two people. And him. Unlucky you, the guy that's actually slept with somebody. As in sleeping. Never actually done that. Kinda sad. My eyes open back up, and another flash arches across the sky, but this time I wish it hadn't. Out of the corner of my eye. Sorry. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I see something move beyond the trees. My hand jerks in its direction, and I hold my breath. The snapping of a twig, not too far away, forces my gaze to the left. The chilling feeling that I was alone in these woods suddenly feels desirable to the newfound alternative. Hello? My voice comes out hoarse and rough, like I've been punched in the throat. I swallow a few times and try again. Hello? Nothing but silence, or at least, nothing that I can distinguish from the noise in the sky pouring down around me. Perhaps it's just some animal, just as scared of me as I am of it. Yeah, that's probably the case. But then again, I have no idea where I am, or what could be out there. If it's a bear, or a pack of wolves. Oh, there was something there. I can't stay here. I begin to crawl on my hands and knees, gripping at the wet dirt and roots, force myself back across the forest floor. The muddy surface feels slick between my fingers as I struggle for grip. Sorry. Suddenly, the ground gives out beneath me. I always hate yawning when I'm reading, because then it makes me feel like I'm doing a dishonor to people. Be like, and I'm reading this in such a way. Oh, give me a moment. Because it's just like, yeah. Anyways, I yelp as I lose balance and begin tumbling down the hillside. I roll down the rough, slippery ground and practically feel each and every sharp rock and blunt roots beneath me, beating my body into even more pain. Finally, I come to a stop as the ground levels back out, and I land face first in a deep puddle. For a moment, I contemplate simply staying here, face down in the cool water. After all, following that torturous fall, laying here and feeling the rainfall collect around my submerged face feels rather peaceful. The only sounds audible being the gentle tapping of rain on the newly discovered safety puddle? Plus, being underwater always felt peaceful. To me, it always felt like leaving the world behind and entering a new one. One where I could leave all my worries and just forget everything for as long as I could hold my breath. Always wanted to do that thing where, like, you get a couple of weights, go underwater, but then also have, like, some kind of long snorkel that leads to the surface. That'd be kind of cool. If I could figure out how to flip and do that. Anyways, my parents had taken me to the water park, and had run off on my own. Dad and stepmom had retreated to the hot tubs while I went off exploring the water slides. One of the pools had a waterfall, and somehow ended up under it. The pressure of the pouring water made it impossible for me to get away. I was stuck. At first I struggled, panic forcing my survival instincts to kick in, my mind racing and simultaneously stopping. That little voice in the back of my head screaming at me to do something. Get up. Get up. When that was unsuccessful, even my most primal instincts gave up. I was alone, and I'd come to the conclusion that this was it. I was out of oxygen, and yet it was peaceful. The fear and panic had subsided, and come to terms with reality. I didn't want to die. Yet, letting go of everything and giving myself to fate was oddly comforting in a strange way. Of course, I survived. Somehow. I was told later that once I stopped struggling, I had been pushed out of the way and floated back to the surface. It was the first time I got a ride back in the back of an ambulance, which, that's America, probably cost what, $5,000 or something? It's not cheap. I don't know if it's $5,000, but anyways. There's a nice man there with a ponytail, so long it could have been a mane. He held my hand the entire way to the hospital. The only thing I remember him saying was, "It's okay, I'm here." Ever since, I've always found the embrace of the water comforting, like being held tight and feeling safe in someone's arms. Most people probably find that experience traumatic and grow scared of it. For me, it was the opposite. It was a peaceful place in an otherwise chaotic world. The burning sensation in my lungs reminds me that it's time to leave this place behind and return to the present. It also makes me realize I'm not dreaming. I put my hands on either side of my head and pushed myself out of the puddle. I stopped for a moment to listen, looking around for any trace of whatever had made me run in the first place. After a couple seconds, I sigh. I'm alone. I pull my legs in under me, breathe deep and looking down the puddle. Another flash of lightning illuminates the forest, and the dark water, which had previously resembled a puddle of ink, transforms to show my own reflection. I'm a furry! No, this can't be real. I must be going insane. It's just like cock-a-doodle-doo. I'm a furry. Right? What am I? I lift one of my hands out of the puddle to explore my newfound appearance. No, not hand. Clawed, fur-covered paw. I roll my fingers and turn it over, examining it. Skin-like pads cover the palm and tips of my fingers, where stubby claws protrude. Instinctively, my paw drifts to my face, feeling out my nose. I have whiskers. The paw moves upwards over the scalp, discovering my ears on top of my head. I circle the outside of my right ear, gently folding it and feeling its springiness. The fur atop my head seems longer than the rest. Also, he looks very clean for being face down in the muddy puddle. Continuing the exploration of my new body, I put my hand on my chest. Despite the thick coat of fur plastered to my torso, I feel my heart beating deep within my rib cage. I'm not dead. There's always tomorrow. I try sitting back to explore my lower body, but end up sitting on something long and slick, ooh, which for some reason sends a jolt of pain up my spine. Instinctively reach behind back and to grab something soft and soggy. Oops. Tail. I have a tail. This has to be a dream. Some strange sort of lucid dream I can't break free from. It'd be kind of cool if I should try and lucid dream. So I could be furry. I mean, I'm a god in my dreams, but anyways. Like, I usually float and fly and whatnot. Anyways, even if everything feels so real, I attempt to wake myself up from this strange fantasy. I cut my hands and splash my face with rainwater from the puddle. Take a deep breath and slowly open my eyes once more. Also, for some reason, looking at a puddle, I can see in third person. I'm just fucking still here. This is real. But if this is real, then I need to get home. I'm pulled from my thoughts when the puddle in front of me illuminates a soft blue light. It's rhythmic, like two quick pulses before it falls back into darkness, before repeating. Looking up, I realize the puddle is only reflecting their effect. The pulsating blue light seems to be coming from somewhere deeper in the forest. I make another attempt to stand, which, this one much more successful than the last. It still hurts, but after a second of wobbling, I find my balance. I slowly begin to make my way towards light. Oh God, is this the beginning of Alan Week 2? I stumble over roots and branches, my eyes set on the flashing in the distance. A fallen tree blocking my path gives me trouble. After some struggling, I force myself over it. I start to notice the ground becoming easier to traverse, and the trees around me glowing more lush the further I walk. Part of the forest seems healthier than where I woke up. The bushes start cropping up in my path. And I feel the wet grass beneath my feet. Having overcome the initial pain of walking upright, I pick up the pace. I think I hear sirens. The light isn't far away now. It almost looks like it's coming closer. But then, it stops, and the world grows dark and quiet once more. I turn and look around, but the blue hue is gone. The thick blackness only lasts for a second, though, as a sharp white beam of light appears not too far away, accompanied by a set of footsteps. We don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna call out. Like, we're furry, so you might want to... I'm just gonna call out. Hey! I cry, wave my arms above my head to get their attention. Stumbling through some low vegetation, making my way towards the light. Also, I guess if I remember the plot, I probably should have hid because of the murder, but whatever. I need help. I don't know where The light swivels in my direction, and I stop like a deer in the headlights. My arms instinctively flies up to cover my eyes. I stay like that for a few seconds, waiting in response. But it doesn't come. Instead, they step forward towards me, the light growing larger and more intense. I try to take it a step back, and my foot lands on something soft, and whatever it is pulls me back down to the ground. It only takes me a second to realize I've tripped over my own damn tail. I yelp and try scrambling backwards, but that light makes me freeze again as I come face to face with it. They shout something, but I don't register what. All I can do is stare back at the intense ray as my retinas burn. They shout again, and this time I hear it. It's a rough, old, nasally male voice. It strains from the volume at which it shouts. Who the fuck are you? With shaky breath, I stutter out a response. I'm sorry, I just want to go... My ears ring, and my head feels heavy, like it's full of liquid. Light seems to lessen in intensity. Did he or somebody just hit me with a shovel? And then everything goes quiet. The end? What happened to your eye? I tripped. Again? Yeah. You can't be serious. I'm getting you one of those anti-slip shower rugs for Christmas, you know? Oh yeah, Christmas is 2 days away from me. Think you can manage not giving yourself another black eye till then, or I'm gonna have to make it an excuse to get you a present before that. Or before that? It was an accident. I I promise I'll be more careful, okay? You better. You really are the clumsiest motherfucker around, aren't you? Wait, aren't you? We've known each other for how long? I've already been the bumbling idiot of the group. I don't know, man. Seems to me like you've gotten clumsier over the past year. If you're part of some secret underground fighting ring and not telling me, you're not gonna be able to sit straight for a week. Ooh? Don't threaten me with good time, Miles. Pfft, faggot. Anyway, went heading to town to get some boigas. I've seriously been having those jalapeno fries. Been craving those jalapeno fries. If we take the drive-thru and eat in the car, sure. But you're paying. You still owe me from last time. Yeah. Get your ass in the car, Tiny. I'm not kidding anymore. You always be a little shit to me, bruh. Are we on time? Oh, only halfway-ish. My hand throbs with sharp pain, each throb synchronized with my heartbeat. My forehead feels like it's been split open. The musty smell in the air makes me think of an attic or the basement of an apartment complex. It was less than a week ago that I'd been down there to put my favorite beach ball away for the year. Everyone complains that the storage units are way too small, but I guess I just don't own enough stuff to fill it with like my neighbors. Less than a week ago. What happened? I was at home. I remember an argument. I remember running, and then I became a furry. No, a forest. I was in a forest. Come on, think. I was a furry. And then I am part of some kind of gimp culture. I opened my eyes to a dim light of the room I found myself in and looked down at my hands. Pause. I'm still here. In this new, strange body, caked in mud. I'm sitting alone in a murky room, up against something cold and comfortable. Another sharp throb at the front of my skull makes me shiver, and I put a paw to it. It feels warm, and when I pull it back down, it comes away red and sticky. I force myself to sit up a little more, looking around the room. Above me, I see the source of light, a single light bulb hanging from a string illuminating the dirty, beige walls. The wallpaper looks like it's peeling, revealing concrete behind it. The only window is a small one situated above me, close to the ceiling. I can still hear the faint sound of rain outside, and it looks like it's nighttime. On the opposite end of the room is a door. A door stands creaked open, allowing some light to seep in through the thin crack. It's too small to see what's on the other side, though. The floor feels sticky under my legs, and as I look down, I count several dried spots where someone must have spilled some sort of brown liquid. That's when another smell invades my nose. One I don't associate with the apartment complex's basement. A sweet, rotten, irony smell that makes me feel nauseous. I lift my arm to cover my nose and mouth as my brain puts together what the dried spots must be. But as I jerk my paw up, the sound of metal clinking against metal echoes through the room. I get on my knees and turn around to see that where the sounds come from, only to freeze on the spot as I see what caused it. I'd been leaning against an old rusted pipe connected to a similarly old and rusted boiler in the corner of the room. But it's what it's attached to that sends chills down my spine. The chain, about a meter long, fastened with a thick padlock around the base of it. On the other end attached to me. Well, we're a gimp now. Gonna have to accept this life. That does beg the question. Was the gimp in Pulp Fiction, was that somebody that was kidnapped and conditioned into that? Or was that just somebody that's like, yeah, I'll be a gimp? Well, so what would a gimp be? Is that some... Anyways. My paws shoot up to my neck and grip onto the rigid collar that's been placed around it. No. I mutter quietly under my breath as I paw at the worn leather, finding that it feels like an incidental padlock fastened in place. I desperately grab hold of the chain and tug uselessly at it. The noise it makes echoes louder and bounces off the walls of the empty room. The room suddenly lights up, but this time there's no rumbling of thunder following, only an audible click. Morning, sweetheart. Sweetheart? My blood runs cold, and my struggling stops as someone sneaks up in a sing-songly tone behind me. The voice sounds familiar, and more memories of the Force slowly seep back into the front of my mind. The footsteps, the flashlight, my fucking tail. I sit frozen in place, not daring to turn around, holding my breath. Dread starts seeping in and clouding my thoughts. Took you long enough. Didn't think it hit you that bad. Looking for this? I swallow hard and let a shaky breath. Ain't seen you around here before. You new? I don't know where I am, or how I ended up here to begin with. I just want to go home. You usually don't get new people in the sex woods. Silent type, eh? Didn't seem like it back there in the woods. But then again, you're pretty quiet at the start. Yeah, you're all pretty quiet at the start. It strolls into the room, approaching me. Its shadow grows larger until it covers me entirely. Don't you worry, that'll change. It's close enough I can hear him breathe, and the stench of cheap tobacco fills the room. Beneath the odor of cigarette smoke, he carries a faint smell of chemicals. Chlorine. I feel one of his hands grip my shoulder, and every muscle in my body tenses up. Don't touch me. I mutter through gritted teeth, barely audible, feeling his fingers dig into my shoulder. He either seems not to have heard me, or he doesn't care. What's your name anyway? You don't get to know my name. Andy. Andy, huh? Don't look much like an Andy to me. Then again, if you ain't from around here, you could be anybody. What difference does it make? Oh, it makes all the difference in the world, he exclaims, his voice rising in volume. I want to get to know you, honey. I bet you we can make the best of friends, you and I. I can practically hear him smile as he says it. So, where are you from, Andy? Let me just check my face since we're halfway through. Again, you don't get to know that. I'm guessing it won't matter soon anyway. Red Creek. Never heard of Red Creek before. Must have been come far to get here then. I don't answer. His fingers start massaging my shoulder. If anything, it has the opposite of the intended effect. So, what are you doing all by yourself out here in the woods, Andy from Red Creek? strolling around in nothing but your birthday suit. So I'm still wondering, is he a mass murderer or is he a rapist? Because on the one hand, he seems to be being awfully familiar, but on the other hand, he smells of chlorine. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Didn't your mama ever tell you it's dangerous in the woods at night? He says it more like a statement than a question, so I don't bother answering this time either. He lifts his hand and pats my shoulder hard, like you'd pet a horse. I feel the aches from earlier flaring back up from the rough treatment. You're practically begging for something to come out and eat you, huh? Eat my butthole. I hear what I presume is him taking a drag from a cigarette before continuing. Or maybe you're out here for something else. His hand drifts slower over my chest. I keep my gaze focused straight ahead, shivering, trying not to show it. Oh, I'm not judging you or anything. I know it can be real rough, scratching that itch, especially when the itch is so difficult to reach. Don't move. Don't show him you're scared. Don't show him anything. Why don't we help each other out, I scratch your back, and you scratch mine. Sounds like a fair deal to me, no? I swallow hard, as his fingers shift through the muddy fur on my chest. Fellows like us need to stick together, you know? That statement catches my attention, and the words leave my mouth before I have time to stop myself. Fellows like us? You know, furries. It would be funny if it lit up and he was in a full fursuit. Anyways. You ever been a straight shooting fella run around the woods butt naked at the night before? You ever seen a straight shooting fella run around the woods butt naked the night before? I've never seen anyone run around the woods nude before. He shakes his head. Nuh-uh. That, my friend, there's a sign of desperation. He chuckles. If it's so dangerous, what were you doing in the forest? The question seems to catch him off guard. He stops and stays silent for a moment, before speaking up in a more straightforward tone than previously. I was down at the old factory, taking care of some business, just making my way back when I stumbled across this helpless little pup, lost in the woods. What's at the factory? I asked without even thinking it over. In hindsight, he probably didn't want to know. Well, I can't just tell you, now can I? That'd ruin the surprise. It's the Bad Dragon Factory. I'll take you there soon. Just want to get you all dressed up. And nice looking first. I imagine the surprise isn't going to be a party. At least, not the kind any rational human being would want to go to. Then again, I guess I'm no longer strictly human, am I? Now. He sighs and takes a step to the side, standing directly behind me. Turn around. No. He huffs. Andy, I've been nothing but kind to you so far. I've been polite, asked your name, where you're from, even put up with your bullshit answers. They're not Well, come on now, Andy. There is no Red Creek. So be a good boy and turn around. This is all too familiar. How's it familiar? I said, turn around. His voice strains at the last words as it ricochets around the room. With a grunt, he grabs the collar around my neck and yanks hard, forcing me down my back, painfully crushing my tail. I let out an uncomfortable choke sound as my windpipe momentarily compresses, cutting out my breathing and causing me to cough a few times as I hit the ground. The man leans over me, placing his hands on his knees and tilting his head as he looks me over. Despite the situation, the awkward feeling of someone looking at your exposed body creeps in, and I look off to the side. My paws move to cover my crotch. His hand reaches down and grabs a handful of the tuft of fur on the top of my head, twisting it and forcing me to look back up at him. Is that a horse? Oh, that's a rat. You're one pretty raccoon, aren't you? So I guess this is what was that one movie? Squeal Like a Piggy? Deliverance? The way he's standing over me blocks out the side of the bulb, casting his features in shadow. But he's not human. His silhouette resembles some form of rodent. 2 large oval ears, a long snout, and a toothy grin. 2 big, orange eyes stare back at me. He's wearing a stained, white, button-up shirt. At least, I believe, white was the original color. It's worn, and has almost a yellow tinge. He's skinny, but has a bit of gut poking out beneath the shirt. An old Polaroid camera hangs from his neck. The grip on my hair loosens, and it begins gently stroking my forehead. Between the fingers on his other paw, the one supporting him against his knee, is a half-smoked cigarette. I'm losing my ability to read. I'm sorry it's late at night. The embers at the tip of it glow low, orange hue, and the trail of smoke rises from it. Now, was that so difficult, Andy from Red Creek? He lifts a cigarette to his lips and inhales, making the embers spark and forcing some ash gently down over me. The glow of the cigarette illuminates part of his face, and I see his fur is gray and scruffy. He exhales through his nose, enveloping me in a harsh cloud, making me cough. He stands up straight and flicks the cigarette off to the side. Then he lifts the camera up to his eye. Another flash momentarily blinds me as he presses the button. The audible click, followed by a whirling of the photo being pushed out, fills the room. He takes in one paw, waving it back and forth, which doesn't actually work, you stupid bitch, while his other paw reaches into his back pocket and pulls out a pair of tongs. He flips around in his hand, looking down at me with a scrunched up face, as if contemplating something. Then, he turns on his heels and disappears out of sight. Now we got time. Yeah, we got time. I take the opportunity to sit up, grabbing a hold of my chain and pulling with everything I have. I press my feet against the wall and put my entire body into it. The pipe strains and almost whines back against me, but it doesn't budge. I grab the padlock instead, turn it over in my paws before tugging at it with the same force as the chain. Nothing. I pant and slam my fist up against the pipe itself, but when my paws start aching, I give up. I'm trapped. Before I know it, my captor turns and slams something hard against my right wrist. It then grows tight, cutting off blood to my paw. It hurts, but I don't have time to think about that. Before I can react, he fastens the other handcuff through the loop of the lock. My other paw immediately grasps at it, but he grabs my wrist. He's done this before. No. Now, just take it easy. It's not so bad, darling. He gets down one knee with a sigh and holds my wrist tight in his left paw. his other grasping the tongs. The camera's gone. I know this might sting a little, but it's a necessary measure, alright? The tongs grip onto the claw of my ring finger. Ooh, not good. A cold wave of sweat washes over me, and I pull my paw back. I'm strong, but he is stronger. You want to show up at the party looking nice, don't you? Don't worry, honey. I'll make it quick. He tightens his grip around the tongs and starts pulling. My eyes shoot open, and I scream. I feel the tissue on my claw begin to tear, followed by the roots of it slowly snapping one by one. Blood starts dripping from the tip of my finger. I flail wildly in my restraints, feeling tears stream freely down my face. I shut my eyes tight and grit my teeth. Sit still, or I might botch it. It's the most painful thing I've ever had to endure. It feels like my entire finger is going to rip off. I begin hyperventilating and shout at the top of my lungs, my voice breaking with the excess tears running down the back of my throat. Please stop. I just want to go home. He ignores my pleading, and after a few seconds of agonizing pain, my claw comes loose in a horrifying snap as the last nerves holding it in place tear. 1. Please stop. Before I can finish, he strikes me across the muzzle with the tongs, leaving a searing pain in my cheek. The taste of iron coats my tongue. I close my eyes and sob. The fur on my cheek, manning down from the stream of tears, ran down my face, landing on my chest. I feel the tongs grip tight around my claw of my little finger. All I can do is scream as he pulls. I was hoping for sex. Or flirtiness, not, like in general, furry novels, not, being kidnapped and tortured. That's not a fun time. No. Bro, what the fuck are you doing? Oops, sorry. It's a makeshift desk here. What? It's literally the middle of summer, and you're wearing that? Hey, trench coat is cool. What's wrong with my outfit? Ain't it a bit warm? I mean, most people would wear, like, a t-shirt, Since when did you become the fashion police? Alright, I get it. Anyway, look what I found. My beach ball? How did you... Found it. I was cleaning out our dad's basement. I know, it used to be your favorite. I don't know what to say, Miles. Thank you. Oh, don't start crying me now. I love you, Miles. Whoa, yeah, I love you too, Tiny. Looks like those shelves will come in handy. After all, wipe your eyes before someone sees and thinks you're a fag. But I am. That's enough hugging, bro. Wanna head down to the beach and try it out? Maybe some other day. Ice cream it is then. Don't worry. This one's on... It's on me this time. Two? Motherfucker! My chest heaves as I sob through my closed eyes. No, I can't take this. I won't take this. Not anymore. Just 8 more to go. Then we can get started on those teeth of yours. He chuckles and tosses the claw to the side. His head turns to see where it lands. The insane pain and despair I've been feeling slowly began boiling deep in my chest. Pain turned to anger, anger to adrenaline, adrenaline to action. Each throbbing wave of pain emanating from my fingertips, adding fuel to the fire. This is it. This is my chance. No more. I lift my leg and put all of my power into the kick. It connects just below his ribs, and he folds forward, wheezing as he desperately grasps for breath. He momentarily loses grip of my wrist, and I take the opportunity without a second thought. With my bleeding paw, I grab hold of the cable chaining me to the pipe and throw it over his chest. Then I haul, paddling us both backwards against the wall. Paddling? Lifting the chain to wrap around his neck and throwing my legs up around his midsection. His paws shoot up towards his throat, dropping the tongs on the ground with a loud clang. He sits with his back against my chest, kicking his legs wildly. I pull on the chain with all the strength I can muster from my aching arm. Was that always there? It looks like there's two eyes right here. I don't hesitate. For a few moments, the only noise filling the room is the sound of my captor choking on air, me snarling like a rabid beast, and the soft rainfall outside the window. My vision pulses, and for a moment in my rage, I think I see someone standing on the other side of the half-creaked door. Okay, so that is that. As if witnessing, judging. I don't have time to think about it further. It only takes a few moments until he stops struggling, and his body goes limp. Still riding high on rage, I pull the chain one last time before letting go and digging my free paw into his pocket in search of those fucking keys. My injured finger scrape against the inside of his worn jeans, and I yelp. Fingertips. But I grit my teeth and bear it. I search both of his front pockets, but come up empty-handed. I push on his back, making his limp body roll over on his stomach, over my leg. I dig my hand down at his back pockets. He's gotta have them on him. He had them earlier. But they're empty. Last fumes of rage dissipate, and the realization washes over me like an ice bath. He doesn't have the keys, and I just killed the only person who could fetch them. What have I done? No. Fuck. I scream, feeling the fresh set of tears form my eyes. I jerk my handcuffed paw hard, feeling the metal dig into my wrist. Fuck you! I'm trying not to, make too much noise because family's sleeping. I lift my free leg and kick the corpse trapping my leg. It rolls off, just out of reach, setting on its back. His head tilts in my direction. I see the gloomy light from the bulb. I see it in his eyes, in the gloomy light of his eyes. His big, orange eyes, the whites stained red. They look empty, less saturated, soulless. And they stare back. The room suddenly flashes with the bright lights before going completely dark, and so does the adjacent room. The rummaging of thunder practically shakes the ground beneath me. I am alone in a dark basement, chained to a pipe, coated in blood and mud. The only sounds, the pouring rain and my sobbing. The only company, the moving corpse of the man whose life I just took. You never even told me your name. Even through the shroud of blackness, I feel his empty eyes judging me. God, what have I done? I need help. Help! Somebody! I need help. Miles. Miles? Dad? You think he's doing alright? I don't know. I haven't seen him for a week now. They said they'd take good care of him, though. Did you really sit there and ask what the date was over and over for 5 hours straight? The nurse told me it might help. Jog his memory. Or whatever. Did it? Not really. He knew it was spring. Sometimes he'd remember the month. So he got dementia? Didn't seem to recognize me, though. And no one knows what happened? Or maybe he has amnesia. Hopefully that. No one was there to see it, and he can't remember. Fucking hell. I'm sure it'll come back to him eventually. How are things with Eric? They're fine. Fine? Fine. Alright. Been seeing you around less lately. Gotta make sure someone's looking out for your clumsy ass. But I get it. You've been busy with school and all. I haven't been that busy. Then why haven't you called? Eric told me you were busy. I haven't talked to Eric in 4 months. Okay, who's Eric? Are we dating Eric, or is someone else dating Eric? Well, with us, a bit less than 3 minutes, I think that's a good time to call it. Woof. I was hoping for a game about, I don't know, the usual stuff. Not being tortured. I feel like this is somewhat reminiscent of Echo. You know, strange shit going on, really bad shit going on. Let's see, yeah. When this comes out, have we even started uploading, Echo? Let's see, Echo. TJ still... Oh. So about 2 weeks before this, Leo's route starts. TJ's route was fucked. In Echo. Leo's route? Whew. Not good. Well, anyways, we're here, so let's back up a bit. So what is it? Let's see. Murder. And then we join a group of vigilantes in this game. It looks like there's an opossum, a yin, and I know some kind of like a dude. It's weird that the beginning of the game is basically like, hey, I lost my train of thought. Though it looks like he might be rescued soon. Who knows, because here's an image here. Oh, right, I remembered my train of thought. That it starts with, hey, we're human, but now we're not human. Okay. Well, there's somebody putting his hand in his mouth. It's kind of hot. But, yeah, if you want to play this game, it's available on itch.io for free. And they have a Patreon, but I don't think subscribing to it gets you, the game any sooner. But it gets you, like, things to look at sooner. And yeah, if you want me to play this game, tell me. And I'll give it a point, which will put it up higher on the list of things I want to play. You know, I thought that'd be the thing, where I'd put all the games I want to play from mostly want to play to play first to play last or whatever. And then whenever you guys put a point, it puts it up higher. Or the game you voted for. Yeah, you can vote as many ones as you want, but you can only do it once, I think, per game. Yeah. And comment, guys, like, comment, say what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos up growing, please remember to be near your animals, help control the pet population. And if you have any other games to suggest for me, visual novel wise, then tell me, and I'll put it on the list of quick looks. And oh yeah, I forgot on the last quick look to do what I was going to do. Let's see, Before You Depart, Fiend Haven, Otter's Tale, Other, Wayfinder, and Where the Demon Lurks, so that's 6. Three. Jesus Christ, the last couple of times it's been on Other or stuff. Like, I put the ones that I don't think anybody, or maybe someone did tell me about it, but yeah, the only one there is In Case of Emergency. Let's see what that one looks like. In Case of Emergency visual novel. That one. I guess it's like a school thing again, which is also kind of funny because one of these pictures has a human in it. Background stuff. Is it set in jolly old England? Kinda looks like it. Anyways, until next time. The quick look. So I think for visual novel quick look. Well, I guess I just said it in case of emergency. Anyways, thanks and see ya.